Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Today we will start the first unit of our biology book. The name of the unit is Gaseous Exchange. What is gaseous exchange is what we are going to focus on under the two main headings, photosynthesis and respiration. The movement of gases from an area of higher concentration to an area of lower concentration is what gaseous exchange is. And especially it deals with the exchange of oxygen and carbon dioxide between an organism and its surroundings, its environment. Like we breathe in oxygen, so oxygen is what is required by our body, and we exhale or give out carbon dioxide. So this process of exchange of gases of the organism, that is us, with the environment, that is our surroundings. In plants, gas exchange takes place during photosynthesis. In animals, gases are exchanged during respiration. So these are two processes that take place in human beings and other living organisms. Respiration is the main process in which gaseous exchange takes place, and photosynthesis is the main process in the plants where gaseous exchange takes place. But respiration also takes place in plants, and we will talk about it. Respiration is defined as a metabolic process wherein the living cells of an organism obtain energy in the form of ATP by taking in oxygen and liberating carbon dioxide from the oxidation of complex organic substances. So number one, what is it? It is a metabolic process which has two parts, catabolism and anabolism. So the catabolic and anabolic processes that are constantly taking place in our body, and we'll talk about it later. And where does the respiration take place? It is the cell. So it takes place in the cell. So respiration is not just inhaling and exhaling carbon dioxide and oxygen. It actually takes place in the cells where we are trying, every organism is trying to get energy by breaking down complex organic substances so that they can be absorbed by the body, and this happens under or in the presence of oxygen. And as a waste product, carbon dioxide is given out. So respiration takes place in the cells. Number one, it is a metabolic process and it gives out energy that the body can use. It takes place, this reaction or this respiration takes place in the presence of oxygen. So this is an oxidation reaction where complex organic materials are broken down, or it breaks them down from complex organic substances to simpler substances to liberate energy and carbon dioxide. So carbon dioxide is a waste product that our body produces. Now, this whole process of oxidation and respiration is an aerobic respiration. It is a type of cellular respiration that takes place in the presence of oxygen. We have already discussed this, to produce energy. So this respiration, this aerobic respiration actually takes place in our cells in the presence of oxygen to produce energy. It is a continuous process that takes place within the cells of animals and plants. So it is constantly taking place in animals and plants. And where does it take place? In the cells. This process can be explained with the help of the following equation. Glucose, which is a complex organic material, plus oxygen. And then as a result of this reaction, carbon dioxide is produced, energy in the form of ATP is produced and water is produced as a result of this oxidation reaction. And why do we call it oxidation reaction? Because oxygen is part of this reaction. ATP is the main carrier of energy that is used for all cellular activities, and it stands from adenosine triphosphate. So this is the name of ATP, and ATP is its simpler form. During the process of photosynthesis, carbon dioxide is taken in while oxygen is given out, whereas in respiration, oxygen is taken in and carbon dioxide is given out. And in this aspect, both of these activities are opposite to one another, because in photosynthesis, carbon dioxide is used and oxygen is given out, it is released, whereas in respiration, oxygen is taken in and carbon dioxide is given out. During daytime, green parts of the plants carry out the process of photosynthesis to prepare complex food molecules, which are organic molecules because they are part of the living things, by utilizing simple molecules such as carbon dioxide and water. So carbon dioxide, water, and minerals, these are the simple things that are used to produce complex food molecules, which are organic molecules. During this process, carbon dioxide is taken in while oxygen gas is released. And what happens in respiration? In respiration, on the other hand, it takes place in all living cells. We have already discussed this. It is a process in which food is oxidized to release energy. What is the meaning of oxidized? That is, in the presence of oxygen, an oxidation reaction takes place. In aerobic respiration is a respiration that uses oxygen. It involves taking in of oxygen and giving out of carbon dioxide. The process of exchange of gases in plants takes place mainly through minute openings called stomata, which are present in the leaves. The roots and stem also exchange gases, but only for respiration and not for photosynthesis. Now, how does this happen? Plants do require oxygen to respire. So, for photosynthesis, they require carbon dioxide, but for respiration, they need oxygen. The process in turn gives out carbon dioxide. Unlike humans and animals, plants do not possess any specialized structures for exchange of gases. However, they do possess stomata, which is an opening in the leaves, and lenticles, which are present in the stems, which are these two openings, stomata and lenticles, which are actively involved in the gaseous exchange. So they are constantly involved in gaseous exchange. Leaves, stems, and plant roots respire at a low pace compared to humans and animals. So human beings take in a lot of oxygen and give out a lot of carbon dioxide, whereas in plants, when respiration takes place, the quantity of oxygen taken in and the carbon dioxide given out is very small. So their respiration is at a low pace. Now let's look at the difference between photosynthesis and respiration. Photosynthesis is an anabolic process. Now what does this mean, anabolic? It means that anything, any reaction, any process that involves or stimulates the building of complex substances from simpler ones as a part of the process of metabolism in living organisms. So, what is the main thing? Building of complex substances from simpler ones. This is what is happening in photosynthesis, that complex organic molecules are created with simple molecules. So this is what photosynthesis is. So in photosynthesis, complex molecules are created as a result of this process, and it uses simple molecules of carbon dioxide, water, and minerals. So this is anabolic process. And whereas respiration is a catabolic process. And what is the difference? What is catabolic process? It is concerned with the breakdown of complex materials. So they are opposite to one another. In anabolic process, complex organic molecules are created, whereas in catabolism or in respiration, complex molecules are broken down. Number 2, synthesis of food from simple organic substances. This is what we are talking about. This is what anabolism is. And over here, breaking down of food into inorganic substances. So over here, organic substances are created, and over here, inorganic substances are created. Number 3 requires light energy. As the name suggests, photo means light. Photo means light, and synthesis means making. So in the presence of light, food is being created, complex molecules are being created. Whereas in respiration, we don't require light energy. Number 4, photosynthesis occurs in plants, and respiration occurs in all living organisms, in plants as well as animals. Number 5, it uses carbon dioxide gas, whereas in respiration, oxygen is used. And in the process of photosynthesis, oxygen is released, whereas in the process of respiration, carbon dioxide gas is released. Number 7, it takes place during the daytime, whereas respiration takes place all the time. Chlorophyll is required for photosynthesis, whereas chlorophyll is not required for respiration. That's all for today. Jazakallah. See you next time with a new video.